As the war unfortunately still rages on, it is hard to accurately evaluate the exact number of casualties suffered by both sides. But according to numerous sources, all of which will be cited in the description of this video, Russia's casualties are surprisingly staggering, meaning that what was previously regarded as the world's second-best military force was completely unprepared to launch an effective modern offensive against a severely underarmed neighbor. This not only underlines the catastrophic failure of the Russian High Command, but also their intelligence agencies responsible for the preparatory phase of the war. If we look back into history, we will see the crucial importance that those intelligence agencies have played. Since we are talking about the current war in Ukraine, then a great example would be Operation Barbarossa, Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union, a major part of the Second World War during which the Wehrmacht was able to inflict casualties of tremendous dimensions on all branches of the Red Army. How was this possible? The answer is very simple. An effective intelligence force was the main factor responsible for such a bold start, as once the Stuka dive bombers took off to the skies on the 22nd of June 1941. At exactly 4 a.m. they already were above their respective targets, and as a result, more than 75% of the entire Soviet Air Force was practically wiped out. The Red Army's ground troops were en masse in complete disarray, and only the Soviet Navy was prepared to effectively fight back, as Admiral Nikolai Kuznetsov at this pivotal moment, thanks to his resolve and blatant disregard for orders, successfully averted the destruction of the Soviet Navy by ordering total battle readiness just a few hours before the war kicked off. But that's a pretty irrelevant fact for this specific video that will be covered sometime later.
Russia's current reality, with regards to their military operation in Ukraine, is a direct result of their intelligence failing to gather accurate information about the morale within the ranks of Ukrainian soldiers, their location, size, and general combat readiness. Regardless of the above factors, Russia's army is nevertheless significantly larger than anything Ukraine can ever mobilize, and they should have the numbers they need to get the results they have so desperately been looking for in the past decade. But that, unfortunately for the initiators of this war, is not going to happen. The thing is, no matter how large a military force can appear on paper or even in reality, it can be rendered completely useless if the country's economy cannot effectively sustain it.
This has been the ballant reality of modern warfare that started as soon as war became tightly related to military industry, which is a post-industrialization factor that applies to all militaries around the world. Just like in World War I, Russia cannot economically satisfy its military's needs, and things only get worse when economic sanctions are added to the bill. A bill that keeps on getting more and more absurd. This comes as a direct result to the government's treatment of its own factories and entire gigantic economic and military industrial powerhouses that it has inherited from the Soviet Union, which today look just like the occupied city of Mariupol, even though never has a single missile been fired in their direction.
Modern realities, at least with regards to the war in Ukraine today, are still in most part dictated by its aggressors, who continue to be fooled by their own self-convincing dogmatism that has, ever since they gained power in 1991, led to the dramatic degradation of their economy, armed forces, intelligence agencies, and a large portion of Russian society as a whole, which is happy to be sent to the front lines of what they used to call a brotherly nation and turn to rob, rape, kill its people, and happily return home with a freshly received paycheck and a large modern TV screen taken from the living room of a nicely equipped house in a Ukrainian village, where just 100 days ago a Ukrainian family was discussing their plans for upcoming summer holidays, but they apparently were destined to reunite with their ancestors with a Russian-sponsored one-way ticket to get them there.